Good morning from Freedom Prepper. It's October 21st, 2020. These are the top stories.
Noticing reality. Been to the mall lately? If so, then you may have noticed a few more vacant storefronts. That's because retailer after retailer declares bankruptcy, scales back, or just fades away. And we're talking about the big names, JCP, Sears, Pier 1, etc. All of that retail space is sitting vacant, bringing us yet another crisis. And the people who used to work in the stores, yeah. Part of the unfolding economic calamity was pre-existing, more of it was generated by tyrannical politicians dictating that everyone had to close and stay home. One gym in Poland found a novel way around the mandates that they go out of business. Welcome to the most holy church of the sacred dumbbell. Approach may not work in the US, where physical and spiritual health are both frowned upon. The V-shaped thingy never appeared. So millions of decent Americans are out of work, generally not counted in the rig stats, broke, and facing ruin. Many are at the end of their savings, without a major reset. It may be the end of the road for many. The people who still have the means are buying guns, hoarding food, and moving to the countryside. Why? It's obvious that they sense something is horribly wrong, getting worse, and they want to avoid the pain of the very near future. Now, don't you worry. While everyone else rides the economic handbasket to hell, the ultra-rich are cleaning up like never before. Yes, these are the people best connected to the crooked politicians who broke the system and the criminal bankers who drowned it, but I'm sure that mere coincidence. Have some Kool-Aid. Why, yes, the COVID Mania Brigade does bear all the hallmarks and characteristics of a cult. They even have snappy uniforms, masks, and a host of mantras: flatten the curve, invisible enemy, save grandma, etc. Next, do they get the Jonestown treatment? Revolution 2.0? Here are some fascinating observations from abroad about the steady decline of the US. People more and more are throwing around the phrase civil war, but there well could be an element of revolution mixed in with it. Fun times.
Mask deception. Masks are historically worn by bank robbers and Klansmen. Today, they're the fashion accessory we're told we just can't live without, even as the proponents ignore their own research about the ineffectiveness and dangers these diapers present. Why? Who benefits? Not us.
Election countdown. Thursday, October 22nd will, thank God, bring us the final debate before the big vote. And, wouldn't you know it, it's already been rigged. Originally, it was supposed to focus on foreign policy. But after some dubious emails surfaced on a discarded laptop, the focus has changed. Get ready for a great discussion about climate change, what's on everyone's mind, right? Poll equals lies. I think some of the reputable polls have already declared that Biden won by 500% and Trump is going to jail for Russian taxes or something. Do we learn anything? For years ago, we heard the exact same nonsense from the same suspects, only to see Orange Man crush the competition. History repeats. Just in time. Just ahead of the election, the same nuts warn that the pandemic will be darkest about the time Americans head to the polls. The same pandemic that might affect 1 out of 1,000 people, with fatalities so low that they have to rig the reports, and it still doesn't look bad enough. So, more scare tactics.
Stories worth talking about today. None of it in Nunavut. The huge Canadian province has 0 cases of the dreaded Wu flu. This may have something to do with the extremely low and sparse population, safety in small numbers. Or, it could be that no one has rigged the stats yet. Getting serious, again. In Paris. The French Republic has been under a constant state of emergency for the last 5 years, all because of the new French and their old terroristic ways. Once again, it's time to clean the house. Macron should admit what the real problem is, and he's getting surprisingly close, and be done with it. Done with them. Combat ready. Sadly, the time for that may be rapidly approaching. As such, or if such, then it would be well to learn what happens during a battle. Here's a primer and not one for the queasy. Stern content, be warned. War in Taiwan? China is allegedly preparing to invade. If so, then the US should let it be. As is, we have a few things a little closer to home to worry about. An index of pensions. Here, they are, the best and the worst from around the world, by country. The US rates a solid C+, which kind of casts doubt on the methodology. Worldwide, scores slipped in 2020 because of what the virus did. Nobody scored an A, and the Bs are few and far between. Are you planning to retire anytime soon?
Because one bug-out bag won't do. Lily has plenty? In this informative 20-minute presentation, Europe's #1 outdoor expert walks through her collection explaining why she has them and what they carry. Whether it's getting out of Dodge or just hiking the long trail, you need and have options.
Thank you for being with us today. For each article, visit freedomprepper.com.